It was a football orgasm for me all weekend.
Oh!
and that's how we start the show. We're going to call this In the Wall Orgasm Football.
And it's Good Morning Gjallarhorn in the Raw after we just beat the Packers, baby. With me, I have my partners in crime, Mr. Ted Glover, somewhere near St. Louis. And then I have Drew Bunting and Manbear Pigg down at the Stumptown Brewery.
Here we are!
A live broadcast.
Yep. Yeah, we're all full of squirrel ticklers and dirty rats and blimies and
ticklers,
bushwhackers. Yeah, the squirrel tickler. That's my brew. Nice and light.
Sounds like the set for a porn movie.
It probably tastes like the set of a porn movie. I don't know.
Yeah, Ted, we're live here at Santa Rosa at the bar.
Nice. That's awesome, dude.
Yeah,
Wish I was there with you.
It's been a great.
We had a blast. We had a blast.
Caught touchdowns. A couple of the waitresses here were catching passes from us. We had that filmed earlier. I don't know if it came through, but it's just been a great experience.
Didn't get the rolling camera, but we got a lot of people on our cameras here. So.
What were you saying to Ruby that you were giving passes to the waitresses?
Not that kind of pass.
Hey, yeah, we won! All right, everybody, back up. Lady with the fireman's hat, back up.
Well, Ted, what did you think of the game?
What did I think of the game? I thought it was a must-win game. It was a game the Vikings had to have, and the big-time players needed to step up because this was a big-time game. And they did. I'll admit, I was kind of worried in the first half there when the offense couldn't get out of their own way and just had that 10-yard loss on the screen pass or whatever it was. But they pulled their heads out of their rear ends. The defense kind of looked like they were going to fold again. You know, we had talked about this earlier, the lack of confidence, the no swagger, they found it. And the offense found it. And I thought it was just a great win.
It was nice to see. There were moments in time more than there were not moments in time when the play calling made sense. There still wasn't enough play action passes in my view, but when they used them, they worked. They did get to the outside with screens and runs. They got Cook in space, and the offense was productive.
It was. And Kirk Cousins made one good throw after another. But I'll tell you what, the biggest completion of the night, that third down conversion to clinch the game, was a bad throw and an incredible catch by Stefon Diggs to reach behind him. And, I mean, I think it was Al Michaels or Chris Collinsworth said that ball could have easily been tipped and intercepted. And, man, we would have just been chewing our nails at that point. But,
yeah, he said the low trajectory – but that everything sticks to Diggs' hands.
Well, not that one touchdown catch, which I thought.
Well, it's true. I thought it was the touchdown, too.
Yeah, it looked like it, but oh well. Both him and Thielen had, I thought, a great game.
Did you look at the stats? How many yards did Diggs have?
I don't know. I haven't seen the stats. For as maligned as the offensive line has been, they gave Kirk Cousins all night long. The only sack he took was on Cousins. And I thought Cousins was a lot better in, if something wasn't there, just tucking the ball and running and getting 4 or 5 yards and live to fight another day instead of forcing a a bad throw. I thought it was probably his best overall game in terms of Kirk Cousins, his best overall game as a Viking. He's had better statistical games, but I think it was best overall game.
2 sacks, but at least one.
Okay.
And he had all day back there, all day to make a decision. And it just, the offensive line, even though it did much better tonight, you can't hold them for 4 or 5 seconds and expect not to get a sack.
No.
It just won't happen.
No, you can't. No, I thoroughly enjoyed the defensive line completely dominating and harassing Aaron Rodgers and their offense. They really didn't get anything going in the second half, with the exception of that late field goal drive to get them within 7. I mean, the Vikings just really bowed up in the second half and played very good football. It was very encouraging.
I want to say it was in the second quarter after their Green Bay second score. They denied them.
Okay, yeah, fair enough.
And I'm curious to look at our pressure point stats. Did the Vikings get 20 or more pressures on Aaron Rodgers during the entire game? We know they've got, I want to say it was 4 sacks tonight. 2 by Richardson, 1 by Griffin, and I think 1 that either gets to Sebastian Thunderbucket or Sebastian Thunderbucket
and I think
Hunter.
I think they should give Hunter a half a sack for sacking Tom Johnson on that play.
Yeah, I think so too. He was the one. Tom Johnson was on the ride, going for a ride with Aaron Rodgers, and it was Daniil Hunter that sacked both of them.
Yeah. Anyways, it was a real good game.
Good game. We lost Rhodes tonight, and he'll probably be out, knowing a hamstring injury, at least 3 weeks. That's not good. So Cypress Hill needs to step up come next week if he's called to play and called to start. You look at Harrison Smith. Harrison Smith made that key stop
huge
on 4th and 1. It was just a thing of beauty. By far the best safety in the league, period.
You know, I'm going to actually hear you and say Anthony Harris is if you believe in Pro Football Focus. But I agree with you. I think Harrison Smith is. I tell you who I thought played a pretty good game tonight was J-Ron Curse.
Okay, I only saw him a few times, and I saw him.
He made a couple. He had a couple big. Had a couple. I think he had 2 pass breakups. I just thought, and I did see him in there. He kind of turned my head. I'm like, oh, another play by Curse. Good deal.
Well, that is good. We do have some depth. We have quality depth on that on the back side. Well, on all of the defense, other than the linebackers, and which is good. And then linebackers you call Wilson quality depth, but that's about it. And it's a good thing to see. And what I saw was, you saw at the beginning of the game when they got scored upon, and early when they're being driven upon, you saw that down sort of defeatist attitude set in.
Yes, on both the offense and the defense. And US Bank Stadium was very nervous, I think.
Right. But then once the offense started getting going, so did the defense. They fed off each other. They need to have that from here on out. They need to feed off their success.
Complementary football.
Absolutely.
And we didn't see. And I'll tell you what, I would argue the offense bailed out the defense in the first half tonight by matching Green Bay score for score. It kind of looked like it was going to be a shootout there for a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And it looked like the offense would have been up to the task. But yeah, when the defense was really kind of down, they just kind of, I don't know. We've talked about this before. They just didn't have that swagger about them in the second quarter, and the offense came back and scored, and then took the lead and didn't relinquish the lead. And that's when the defense, we call it complementary football. And I think late in the second quarter through the second half, I thought the Vikings played very good complementary football.
Mm-hmm. I did too. And that was a good thing. Now we had another imperfect game for Dan Bailey.
Okay. The 140-something yarder, the first one he missed, should have made that one. The 51, the 50-yarder he did miss, let's not forget he had made the 51-yarder that was nullified because of the penalty, and then he missed the 56-yarder, and I didn't see it until after the game had come back for the third quarter or for halftime, and there was no penalty for at least a minimum running into the kicker, and you could have argued it could have been a roughing the kicker, and I bet on a re-kick he makes it. So I'm not so bent. I mean, I tweeted a whole bunch of stupid stuff because I was just mad at the time, but you can't really fault him for the 56-yarder.
No.
It's 56
and
yards,
I think the first one he missed was because of the bad placement. Right?
And
it was held wrong.
No,
he fed that up. And anytime the motion is speeds up, it either goes high right or low left.
Should have made it.
Well, it's time. On the other ones, on the third one where he did make it, it was just a slow and steady, nice, smooth movement. Just like a golf swing, you get more power with a smooth movement than rather than trying to gorilla it through the ball. There's no difference. It's similar motions.
Should they have on 4th and goal at the 5 or whatever it was, or 4th and 3 from the 5, when they went for it and didn't kick the field goal that would have put them up 27-14? Did you agree with going for it, or do you think they should have kicked the ball?
I thought it was a very ballsy call. And the only risk was they were still 2 touchdowns behind, or 2 scores behind, no matter whether they made it or not. The question is, if they didn't make it, they were 10 points behind, which is a TD and a field goal. If they would have kicked the field goal, they would have needed 2 touchdowns to win.
I love the call. I love going for it. Play to win, not play not to lose.
Mm-hmm.
Love it.
That's just, and like I said, it was ballsy, and I'd rather see them go for plays like that, right? Go on a 4th and 1. Now, earlier in the game when they went on a 4th and 1 and they handed it off to Latavius Murray, who was sitting in the eye, Helen Keller could see that play call from a mile away, right? It was horrible. You need to do something unpredictable. You need to, like on this, when it was 2nd and 1, Cousins snuck it and got the first down.
That or that little swing pass to Ham on 2nd or 3rd short.
You do a play action.
Great call.
You fake the handoff to Latavius, swing out to either the left or the right, and you're going to have somebody open. If not, Cousins will be able to run it open. These are things to me as a former, obviously not pro coach, but as a former coach, seem obvious. But it was nice to see them execute most of the time tonight. We haven't seen that this season.
Hey, guys, I had to reboot. They got a weird Wi-Fi thing here at this restaurant or the bar.
Well, obviously.
What a great place. I wish we could have a fucking fat party here. This is a tremendous place. And you know what? You know what? I don't want to talk. I'm not a... This pulled me out of my... Hey, Ted, it's been a long 24 hours for me, Ted.
I'm sorry. It's been a great 24 hours for me.
Well, that's as much as I want to get into it, but, congrats to you. Your team played well, but at least the Vikings didn't shit the bed the whole weekend away. So,
hey, and for Minnesota fans, neither did the Gophers. They came home with the axe this weekend. It was supposedly in the stadium.
Speaking of the Gophers, I've never seen a group of fans get so excited about a 6-6 finish in all my life. I mean, is that? But either way.
Yeah, but they beat Wisconsin.
Look, they haven't beaten Wisconsin in 15 years. Drew, you know all about Michigan not beating Ohio State in that long.
All right, let's get on to the Viking game. We're on to the Viking game. Okay. I was going to finish Ted's thought when he was talking earlier. Ted, didn't that game, the first 7 minutes, feel like the old Vikings, here we go with the gloom and doom?
Yeah, Dave and I were talking about that. It felt very much like things didn't go their way right away, and they're like, oh, man, here we go again. Exactly what you just said. And then we mentioned that the offense sort of picked the defense up, and they matched the Packers score for score.
Sure.
It kind of felt like it was going to be a shootout. And I sort of felt the Vikings adopted we're going to just play a shootout tonight, or at least the offense did. And then for whatever reason, the defense sort of got their swagger back, and life was good.
When it started out with those 2 3-and-outs, and me and Manbear were going, oh, my God.
Yeah.
Like, here we go again. And then the team for Wisconsin was driving pretty easy on us, but I was so sad to see this go away. So we can officially go. Yeah, rip it up. Tear it up, Manbear. Let's get rid of this thing here. Tear it up. God, Manbear and I have agreed that the play of the game was that 4th down stop at midfield.
Yeah, Harrison Smith, man.
The play Harrison Smith came in off the side.
I was gonna say my play of the game was the Diggs 4th down catch to clinch it, because that was a terrible throw.
Yes, that was big.
And Diggs did like a Stretch Armstrong, stop and go behind him, and then somehow get the ball and essentially end the game.
That's a good point, but let's not forget to give some big credit out to that team from Wisconsin's punt returner. Thank you.
Yeah, shout
Thank
out to you, my man.
Whatever the name is. Whatever the
American hero.
Now, tomorrow on K-Fan, when we get to listen to Mackie and Judd, we're going to get to listen to the Packers vet line, which should be absolutely hilarious because they've been calling for McCarthy's head up until this point, and it's going to be even worse tomorrow.
McCarthy's done. Mike McCarthy's done.
When he gets mad on the sidelines, that pleases me.
Drew, you got anything more to say tonight?
Yeah, I'm fucking happy. It's good to see Trent Glover. It's good to see Cousins hit the touchdowns. And you know what? Zimmer's happy. It's good to see Zimmer happy for being as fucked up, as disappointed as he's been.
Yeah, it's good. It was a good win. I love it.
Hello.
Been a great football weekend for me.
Yeah.
Manbear, you got anything to close the show?
Oh, it was a great win. I love it. I had a great time. I'm really, really glad that we got the Drewster out here to enjoy the Stumptown. They were great. They were great for us. Yeah, we had a great game, huge game, really good adjustment. I think a lot of the adjustments started actually in the second quarter instead of the halftime.
Yeah.
But I saw a lot of improvement on this defense. A lot of fire, a lot of individual effort. I was really happy. They really owned TTFW tonight.
Drew, what do you got to say tonight?
Harbaugh, you're overrated. Get the fuck out of town.
Ted, what do you got to say?
Oh, no, Viking cow!
The Green Bay Packers would like to announce Jim Harbaugh as their next head coach.
Hey, everybody. Watch out for the Raw live broadcast tomorrow. Everybody, good night, and Vikings win! Vikings win!